On a
Excuse
chilly
me, coming
evening in
through.
downtown Nashville,
I need to get through,
the
please.
sidewalks were crowded
Has anyone
with
seen a young
tourists,
boy?
street performers, and the steady hum of music that never really sleeps in the city of songs. 17-year-old Maya stood near the corner of Broadway and Fifth, holding a guitar that had clearly seen better days. The wood along the edge was cracked. One tuning peg was slightly bent. A thin line of tape ran along the body where the finish had peeled away. But she held it like it was priceless, because to her it was. She adjusted the strap on her shoulder and glanced at the small phone propped up against her backpack. The red recording light blinked. She swallowed. "Hey guys," she whispered to the camera, her voice trembling slightly. "If you believe music can change someone's life, make sure you like this video and subscribe. I'm trying to prove that you don't need perfect equipment to make a difference." She hesitated. "And maybe," she added softly, "share this with someone who needs a little hope today." She tapped the screen, stepped back, and took a deep breath. Maya had saved for 2 years to buy this guitar secondhand. Her mom worked double shifts at a diner outside the city, and most days it was just the two of them in a tiny apartment with peeling paint and a leaky faucet. There wasn't money for music lessons. There wasn't money for upgrades. There was barely money for strings. But there was always music. The crack in the guitar had happened 3 weeks ago when she tripped getting off the bus. She cried for an hour that night, thinking that was the end of her dream. But when she played it again, the sound, though imperfect, still carried warmth. And tonight, she was going to sing the song that had carried her through her hardest days. "You Belong With Me" by Taylor Swift. She began softly. The first chord buzzed slightly. A few passers-by glanced at her and kept walking. She closed her eyes. She didn't see the crowd. She didn't see the neon lights. She saw herself at 12 years old, headphones on, crying after being teased at school. She saw the tiny bedroom where she wrote lyrics in secret notebooks. She saw the nights she promised herself she would not give up. Her voice grew steadier, stronger. People slowed. A couple stopped in front of her. A little girl tugged her father's sleeve. Someone started recording. The broken guitar added something raw to the melody. The slight rasp in the strings made the song feel less polished, but more real. Halfway through the second verse, a small ripple moved through the crowd. Maya didn't notice, but someone else had. Down the sidewalk, surrounded by only one security guard and dressed casually in a long coat and boots, Taylor Swift had been walking back toward her hotel after a quiet dinner. She almost passed by. Almost. But something made her slow down. It wasn't perfection that stopped her. It was honesty. She turned her head slightly, listening. The voice was young but fearless. The guitar was imperfect but determined. And when Maya hit the bridge, pouring every ounce of hope she had into the lyrics, Taylor stopped walking entirely. The crowd noticed first. Whispers spread. "Oh my gosh, is that?" Phones lifted higher. Maya opened her eyes to see people staring past her. For one terrifying second, she thought she had messed up. Then she saw her, standing just beyond the small semicircle of listeners, hands tucked into her coat, watching with the softest expression. Maya's fingers almost froze. But she didn't stop. She couldn't, because this moment wasn't about fear. It was about finishing what she started. She sang the last chorus louder than she ever had in her life. The final chord rang out, slightly buzzing from the crack in the wood. Silence. Then applause. Real, thunderous applause. And before Maya could process what was happening, Taylor stepped forward. "Hey," she said gently. The crowd gasped. Maya's brain short-circuited. "Hi." Taylor glanced at the guitar. "That's been through a lot, hasn't it?" Maya laughed nervously. "Yeah, I guess we both have." Taylor smiled at that. "I almost walked past," she admitted. "But there was something about the way you were singing. You weren't just performing, you meant it." Tears filled Maya's eyes before she could stop them. "I've been saving for a new one," Maya said quietly. "But I didn't want to stop playing while I wait. Taylor nodded slowly. Don't ever stop playing. She turned to her security guard briefly, whispered something, then looked back at Maya. What's your name? Maya. Well, Maya, Taylor said. How would you feel about coming to the show tomorrow night? The crowd erupted again. Maya blinked. Are you serious? Very. She reached into her bag and pulled out a guitar pick. It was worn slightly at the edges. I used this during rehearsal this morning, she said, but I think you need it more tonight. Maya held it like it was glass. And one more thing, Taylor added. Meet me backstage tomorrow. I have a feeling that guitar deserves a retirement party. Maya looked down at her cracked instrument. The tape. The chipped wood. The bent tuning peg. That broken guitar had been her bridge between dreaming and daring. I think it would like that, Maya whispered. Taylor gave her a hug. A real one. Not the kind celebrities give for cameras. The kind that says, I see you. As Taylor walked away, the crowd slowly dispersed, but not before dozens of people dropped bills into Maya's open case. Someone shouted, You're going to be famous. Maya shook her head, still overwhelmed. But that night wasn't about fame. It was about proof. Proof that imperfections don't disqualify you. Proof that someone can notice you when you least expect it. Proof that you don't need perfect conditions to start. The next evening, Maya stood backstage at the arena, staring at a brand new guitar resting in a stand beside her. Taylor approached her with a grin. Ready. For what? For this. Later that night, during the acoustic set, Taylor stepped to the microphone. I met someone yesterday, she told the roaring crowd. She reminded me why I started playing in the first place. She motioned toward the side stage. Maya, come join me. And with shaking hands, but a steady heart, Maya walked into the spotlight. The arena lights shimmered like stars. Taylor leaned closer and whispered, this time, no broken strings. They played together, and the sound was beautiful. Not because the guitar was new, but because the girl holding it had never given up. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone chasing a dream with imperfect tools. You never know who might need the reminder that their moment could be one song away. And remember, sometimes the world stops walking when you decide not to stop playing.